Hi everyone, welcome to SGDA's last Student Games Showcase section, Section E, I believe. I'm Jason again, the SGDA president. Magna and Noosh, if you'd like to introduce yourselves and the team.
Definitely. Hey folks, this is Anuj. You've seen me plenty of times today, but I'm here to cap off this student showcase section. Magna, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hello, you've seen me pretty much every single showcase section today, and now I'm here again with Anuj this time.
And we're here with the team behind Goldcliff. If you'd like to introduce yourselves.
All right, what's the order? We'll go by the order on the credits. So, just double checking everyone's on the stream. Okay. Hello, I'm Darren. I'm the director and just kind of generalist of the project. I am a student at UC Berkeley. I'm going into my third year next semester, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm Siva. As you can see on the credits page right there, I am the main writer and content director. I was behind, the big story and a lot of the locations. That was like a dual effort thing with Darren. I'm a student at Irvine Valley College, and I don't know, there's not really like a year thing. I was a dual enrolled high school student for like most of my high school time, so I don't know what to call myself there.
Yeah, hello everyone, I'm Josh. I'm third year, incoming third year at UC Berkeley. I was one of the programmers for this project. I was mainly on the sort of dialogue portion and just like those dialogue systems there. And yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, hi. My name's Andrew. I'm a third year at UC Berkeley. With Goldcliff, I was the background and asset artists. So a lot of the things, aside from the characters, because Hana's role, but Hana's not here right now, is what you'll be seeing in the game right now. Yeah.
All right, yeah. I'll probably just be starting in the background, I guess, while we get started on the questions, because I'll let the people on the stream read the story, I guess. So.
For sure.
Worked hard on it.
Yeah. I don't think either of us are actually writers, but we tried our best. So if it's juvenile at worst, then whatever. That means we probably did better than I expected.
Yes. This part also is the part that I didn't write, which is the funny part.
You didn't have now I have stage fright. I was hiding behind my dual enemy,
protective shield.
Oh, is it me or is it Siva?
You're right.
To blame?
You're right. Sorry. I don't know. Anybody could have written this part.
Anyone could have written this part, and anyone could have written this line. Anyone could have written this line, But yeah.
Awesome. All right, Nushu, would you like to start, or?
Oh, you can go ahead.
Oh, okay, cool. Would you guys maybe talk about what the game is about, or give a little bit of a summary maybe not without spoilers. I don't know.
I wouldn't worry too much about the spoilers, honestly. So, personally, I think that this game is a little bit experimental because I wouldn't fit it into necessarily any one genre. Obviously you could try to under resource management, kind of logistics simulation, that kind of stuff. But really the kind of founding idea behind the game was inspired by literature, specifically the genre of realism. Because I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, why aren't there video games that are just a regular person, not some not in war, not a detective, just some regular person, regular wage worker kind of. This could be you, this could be your neighbor, this could be your friend from middle school. Why aren't there games about them? So maybe an experiment on games as a medium, but I don't know. It's our best shot at making something that's both a game in the traditional sense, but also trying to explore this more genre, explore the kind of form of what a game could be. Obviously I'm sure if you can think of plenty of other realistic fiction games, but this is more of just a kind of grounded personable experiences is what we were trying to go for.
I see that def function. I know what that is. Yeah. I know what that means. I've written enough Python.
We're gonna
perfect.
UI. Is this good? Oh, this is too big. Let's go like this, and let's get rid of all the post-processing that messes up the stream. And
the stream doesn't hate it, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I could speak more to like because you mentioned that we took a lot of literary inspiration. So like the main things that we took inspiration from there were like Grapes of Wrath from Once Upon, the Dwarf. My main like contribution there
Specifically,
was Grapes of
Chosehi's
Wrath.
the dwarf.
Yeah, I'm sure there are
I
multiple
was
the dwarfs.
Yeah, I was reading through I was taking a modern Korean literature class, and there was just a lot of like inspiring kind of like down to earth stories. And I was like, man, I think a game that reflects this feeling is incredible. And I was talking with someone else, and they were like, "Oh yeah, just like Grapes of Wrath." And I was like, "Siva, by any chance have you read Grapes of Wrath?" And he was like, "I'm reading it right now." I'm like, "Well,
Whoa.
so
Got something
perfect
on our hands.
coincidence." Yeah, it was actually kind of crazy. It was like, "You're not gonna believe what I'm reading for my class."
Yeah.
I think Migna and I read Grips of Wrath for our Amlet Honors class, and that was a happy book. Definitely, we read a lot of happy
For
books
sure.
in high school.
Wait,
It's not called the Grapes of.
Wait, I needed to add the fun fact that we did go to high school together. That's how I
Yes. Same year and everything.
Darren and I kind of technically did too.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Siva and I go way back. We were both homeschooled, and we were just like, the way we met was just being randomly placed in like we had like a middle school like online kind of synchronous class together, and we were just randomly placed in a breakout room, and that's how we met.
Breakout rooms are so wildly like interesting sometimes.
Oh yeah. Okay, so now we're in the actual game. I don't know if y'all. Yeah, it's just our.
How did you guys go about kind of like? Is this map based off of any real map, or is it just you made this on your own? Because
yeah, I drew this because I was like, all right, guys, we're just gonna need something that looks like Google Maps. It's probably gonna be a pain to draw, so I will bear the burden. I was just looking at Google Maps and I was like, all right, yeah. Honestly, you can kind of tell I got lazy with some of the like sections and the roads, and like I don't know what the hell's going on here, but you know, it's realistic. I'm sure that
sometimes
if you go,
sometimes people build weird things.
this has to be on a map somewhere, right? In real life.
I think unfortunately for everyone else, Google has been compiling those maps for at least a decade now, if not
longer.
decades to write and draw up a bunch of maps.
My dad was a huge fan of like those AAA travel maps, and just like scouring those before a family trip, and then Google happened, and he's like, they don't really exist anymore. And I was like, that sucks.
Yeah.
I'll probably get through the story faster so we can get to like the second day, but I think like the progression.
Oh yeah, we can get to the story through, or I guess without the kind of spoilers from telling the actual story. But in terms of the story itself, because you mentioned the inspiration was sort of these realism novels like Grapes of Wrath and such. But I guess how did you land on, in particular, covering the life of like an office worker trying to make ends meet for their relative?
Oh yeah, okay. So this game was actually like originally made for the Games for Change student challenge, which they opened it up to college students, and we were like, since some of us are high school students, this specifically being Siva and Hana, we had to ask like, hey, is it cool if we have some high school students, because there's like a separate division. But anyway, we wanted to do the category, like honestly it wasn't even part of a plan. Like I just read the book, had the inspiration, asked Siva's like, yeah, again, I'm reading Grapes of Wrath, and I was like, holy crap. And then I got everyone else together. I'm like, guys, we're getting the band back together. Let's go just start this challenge. And like we started late, kind of like worked a little on and off, had shaky moments, honestly, of just like, oh, we have finals, we have to study for finals, all that. And funny story, we technically submitted, but it crashed like on the second week, and you couldn't experience any of the game. Bugs just everywhere. It was such a tragedy that we were like, we couldn't just help but like laugh like maniacs.
It was really
in our voice
funny.
Call. It was really funny. Probably the hardest I've laughed in like
30 minutes before we had to submit. I was proofreading all the story again, because we have to format it properly, right? So that it doesn't entirely break and characters aren't like speaking with nobody or speaking with themselves. and 30 minutes before I'm going through, and I see in the beginning, in asterisks, add tutorial here.
No,
Yeah.
Oh,
and
no.
then,
We didn't win anything from the competition, but that's okay.
Oh yeah, of course. We weren't in it for like anything. It was just for funsies. But yeah, and also like on the programming side, it was kind of a rush to like get it functional period. So we didn't have time to play test. And then I was like, it was like like an hour before the deadline, I was like, guys, I don't know if this game is winnable. So we just went and then just like quadrupled the profits across the board and submitted. And we're just like, okay, they hopefully have to be able to win it. And then it crashes on the second week. So we're like, oops, whatever. But
it was winnable.
It was winnable. Yeah, minus the crashes.
I'd rather a game jam game be easy as hell than like not winnable, because then I'm like, come on.
Oh yeah, for real. But for those wondering, we've gone back. We've like touched up all the game balance. We made it like an actual game.
We can talk a bit about that, unless there's some questions we want to answer.
Yeah,
we did that recently.
We can listen to our next question.
Map?
Oh yeah.
We did.
Frankly, that was a better question than what I had. My question was going to be: is the dog in the picture frame anybody's actual dog?
That is
that's Josh's.
There we go. Excellent.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Shout out to the dog. I honestly don't know what your dog's name is. I don't think I ever bothered to ask.
Yeah. There were talks.
His name is Armonti. He's a poodle.
Awesome. That's so awesome. There were talks like way back, I think, of putting another dog that's very famous in our circle. She's called Grebo. That's what we call her. That's not her name.
That's our affectionate name for this random toy poodle in Japan that doesn't even know we exist.
Yeah, her Instagram account's like @__mohu_c.
I'm looking this up right now.
Yeah, look it up right now.
Strong recommendation, yeah.
Recommendation. She is so beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Wait, I've seen this one. Yes. Okay,
yes,
yeah,
I love her.
Oh yeah.
Send it to me, Anush. I don't
I got you. This.
Since we're kind of getting a little on time, in terms of like the game itself, what are you most proud of about the process?
Honestly, the whole thing. Thank you to like the whole team for just like kind of just going along with my whim for no reason. But yeah, I'm proud of the story. We've never, we're Siva and I, not really writers. We haven't really written a story before. We're happy with how it turned out. Hopefully, and
I'm happy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, happy with just honestly the back end for the game itself is crazy. Happy with figuring out how Unity's UI system works because of all of it. Happy with happy with just I'm very happy with this project. But one thing to keep in mind. The descriptions for all the locations. Siva and I complete like bout of lunacy, just sitting in a voice call, just like, hey, let's just like make a funny description for every single location. That is kind of how we hoped to like incorporate humor and kind of like maybe for some people who just like puns and silly jokes or like what did they mean by this kind of like thing. Definitely just like check out all the descriptions of the locations. We think that's like funny. It's like
some of them are like full just mental break, I will say. Some of them were just like we have like a day left on the deadline, we just gotta put something down.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha. Yes. You know what, the best game dev moments are ones of lunacy or just like nighters.
Sometimes you're just like, whatever, I just gotta do this. I gotta put the code in. With that, we're coming up on time. So is there anybody that you'd like to shout out, give a special mention to, anything like that? Please feel free.
Oh yeah. I would like to shout out my Korean literature professor for, being like, hey, let's force them to read this. I'd like to shout out my sociology professor for including like a dramatic, like encouraging speech at the end of every single one of his lectures that just, like kind of subconsciously made me want to keep going with this game and just game development in general. Shout out to I don't know, anyone else have shout outs?
Shout out to Grebo.
Oh, and shout out to Hana, who is
that's true. Who's not here? Don't forget about her.
Yeah, shout out. The character art is incredible.
Yeah.
And Josh, Andrew, do you have any shout outs?
I guess shout out to Joshua's dog, Armonti, who made the game, made the title cut.
That is fully my bad.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming out. We really enjoyed playing your game. And you can check out Goldcliff on our itch.io jam page, as well as if you would like to link it in the Discord, feel free. Yeah, with that, we'll move on to our next game in the section, which I think is Pitaya?
I believe so.
Yes. All right, cool. But thank you guys so much for coming out. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you
for
so
having
much.
us.
Thank you.
It's nice talking to you.
Bye.
See you. Bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Take care.